Mhm.
To it.
All right.
Shalom, shalom. Got a special guest here. One of my brothers from another mother, you know. Um,
Yes, sir.
yeah, we out here. This really, I'm just doing certain interviews outside of the podcasts that we do, as the children's bread, just doing certain things, going based off this government that we building, this coalition that we building among Hebrew Israelites, this network, this united network construct that we're building, and I wanted to, actually get a one-on-one with you, man, and ask you some questions, and but before we go into it, I'm gonna let the people know who you is, that I want you to explain to the people, they should know who you is. But I got my brother Banayah in here with me, man, and he's part of the chairmanship of the nonprofit organization that we have throughout East Africa. He's a chairman in Tanzania and everything, and he's a representative also, for this construct. Can you go ahead and tell the people about yourself, man? Give them a brief story about yourself, bro.
Yeah, you did a pretty good job. I'm just Brother Banayah, man, in Tanzania, you know, like the brother said, children's bread, you know, that's pretty much, what we do. That's it. I'm not too much more than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a brother.
Oh
But
man, definitely.
but yeah, so but yeah, that's it. I'm from Michigan, from the States, from the US. I mean, from Detroit, Michigan. You know, I've been, I've been in the walk what 10 years now, to something like that. But yeah, that's about it, man. Everything good, bro.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I was about to
Hmm.
go ahead and try to switch my headphones because them joints is looking crazy, but
Hmm.
let me go ahead and get this situated real quick. But yeah, man, brother Banaya in here, man. Let me go ahead and we're gonna just jump right into these questions, real quick. Just
That's
get right
cool.
into it. Let me ask you this. How important is it for us as Hebrew Israelites to create our own world, our own unified government? How important today? And can you elaborate to the people, on how important it is?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, man, look, that's very important. I think that's after for us understanding Israelites, those of us who know that we are Israel and stuff like that,
Hmm.
you know, we after we come into the walk, we understand, that we got to follow Christ, we got to keep the law and stuff like that. Then, once we get to cleaning ourselves and understanding who we are, now this is the path we should be going in, trying to unite.
Yeah.
I believe, now it's a lot of brothers and sisters out there who may not understand that they Israel, but they be ready to collectively come together and
Yeah.
stand on something. But there's no vision,
Yeah.
for a lot of people to really hold on to. And plus, they see a lot of brothers who are fighting and arguing, don't really know how to come together on nothing, you know. So I think it's paramount that we, drop our guards when it comes to each other
Yeah.
and really just try to build on a solid foundation, which is Christ, and a vision. We need a vision, you know, and I think that's something that's being developed with what we got going on. But I really do feel that that's very important because the reason that we can't stand or that we can't have nothing is because we don't have nothing to stand on collectively.
Yeah.
We don't know how to stand up collectively. Um, we are high-minded towards each other. I have a thought that this is the way it is, so I'm not going to deal with my brother because he feel like it's this way, and I feel like it's that way. So I think that's the issue with us. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I think it's very important that we as a collective whole actually drop our differences and come together. And I'm gonna tell you another reason.
Uh-huh. Talk to him.
Um, right, because now we go into the scriptures because the Bible says, you know, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, before the day come.
Yeah.
You know, the next verse you go into, it says, before the day come. You got so many people thinking that it's going to be Christ just coming up out the sky, bringing people together, and that's when it's going to happen. That's not true.
Mhm.
Nah, man, we got to get this thing together before then, because if you don't, you're going to miss the bus. That's
Mhm.
just the way it is. And that's how important it is. That's truly how important it is. You know, and another thing, like we was talking about community.
Mhm.
I think it's Zephaniah 2 that says, or is it Zechariah? Zechariah 2. It says, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls. So that's going to be community set up, right? There's going to be different communities set up that's going to be able to actually deal with each other without all of the barriers and borders in place that keep us divided
Yeah.
before Christ comes.
Mhm.
You know, so this is something that if, and now I'm talking for people who believe in Christ. You know, if this is what you believe, you thinking the wrong, excuse me, you thinking the wrong way. If you actually believe that when he get here, that's when everybody gonna come together and be
Yeah.
gathered, and that's not true. Get that out your head.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And now that makes sense. I mean, Israel, we scattered, we so scattered, not only all across the world, but we're scattered in ideology. We scattered,
yeah,
different doctrine got us stick scattered, to the point that,
mm-hmm.
that's keeping us from uniting as a governmental front. You know, so, and like you said, different groups got different, messianic expectations, and things like that. Um, but if they're if they're in a mindset that, oh, we gonna when the Messiah return, that's when we're gonna gather. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We in that mindset, then we're just sitting ducks, you know,
Yeah,
for real, you know,
yeah,
because
bro. It's like it's
hmm
like a it's like a tree. Like you know how to you got two sticks, right? Put two sticks together. We know the scriptures, right?
yeah.
The two sticks coming together, that don't mean they in agreement with everything at a point.
hmm
But as they grow together, they begin to weed out the things that don't belong and the things that do belong. They're gonna begin to
Exactly.
weed those things out. They're gonna grow together with one ideology. But that's gonna only come when you come together and begin to put
Exactly.
your thoughts on the table without the
hmm
pride.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Going back to the curses, when it say that Israel will be scattered, going back to that, like Israel will be scattered. It's not just us dealing with the curses is not just us being scattered, throughout these different nations, but actually being scattered with our ideology, with the understanding
mm-hmm.
that that we have to, be collectively, in unity in some type of way. We don't have to agree on everything, but we have to have that collectiveness like we had when we came out of Egypt. We had that collectiveness, even with our differences.
Mm-hmm.
We put things to the side and like, we know we need to leave Egypt. We know we want our own world. We want to dictate things how we want to do it. We don't want to be dictated by the Egyptians. We don't want to be, dictated by another nation. We want to dictate
Mm-hmm.
our own life, our own destiny. So, once we get back to that understanding, because I don't believe we left Egypt with all this ideology, and all
Right.
these different
Right.
doctrines. I don't believe that. Everybody always had their opinions, but I don't believe we had
Yeah.
all this different, doctrine. This different doctrine come over time, different groups, different people having their
Mm-hmm.
different mindsets and everything, man. But yeah, man. Um, Let me ask you this. If we don't fully control our own food as a nation, then we will always have to depend on our oppressors and other nations for produce, spices, bread, medicine, etc., etc. Why is that a problem and how can we solve it?
Well, it's a problem. It's a problem because that's a curse.
hmm
Um, Christ told us that Jerusalem will be trodden down to the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, right?
hmm
When you go into that trodden down is oppress or destroy,
hmm
right? we will be oppressed by these people. And see, that's oppression when you don't control your own food, your own waters, your own
Mm-hmm.
medicines, right? That's oppression.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because now you put these things into the hands of your enemy. Now your enemy controls what you consume,
Exactly.
right? For your health. What sense do that make?
Yeah.
Right? So you at the hands of your enemy when you allow these people to control your farming, control your agriculture, control your waters,
Mm-hmm.
control your pharmaceuticals. We really not supposed to even be dealing with the pharmaceuticals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Most High gave us the herbs. So we don't even control that, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
we stuck in a place where we gotta go deal with the pharmaceuticals,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So it's a problem because it's showing our oppression, it's showing the curses. So once we able to shake that and break that, and we're able to feed ourselves, now we shedding these curses that been on us for so long. Why? Because we were able to come together first, come together and say, hey, regardless of whatever ideology you have, whatever thoughts you have, I have, you
Mm-hmm.
know, let's drop that and let's build right here. That's what the Most High want to see.
Yeah.
That's what he want to see. He's
Exactly.
not gonna bless us and we sitting up here still bickering over some little petty stuff. You know, we're
Mm-hmm.
not going to be blessed like that. We're going to be blessed when we come together, regardless of the pettiness,
Exactly.
regardless of what we got, the things we got going on. That's when we're going to begin to be blessed. Then we can get the land. Then we can start planting. Then we can start trading amongst community, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
now we taking care of ourselves. We don't need the other nations to do anything for us. We're not worried about our children being poisoned, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because we understand what we putting into the soil. We understand what's coming out the soil. We understand what we feeding the cattle, what we
Yeah.
feeding the poultry or whatever, you
Okay.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Exactly.
that's why that's
Yeah, I mean, that's important. Like if we can't control our own food, we don't control our own um destiny, really. That's part of our destiny, controlling your own. We can't control what we eat,
mm-hmm,
we don't, then that's hindering us from controlling our own destiny, because
mm-hmm,
I shouldn't have to go to the other nations to get greens, to get cabbage, to get these type of produce, to get these things. We shouldn't have to go to the other nations, to get these things. And then
mm-hmm,
some of us in our communities, we may grow in our own little things, and stuff like that, which is cool. But we still have to go to the other nations for certain other things, that we shouldn't have to. And so if
mm-hmm,
we really fully work together, we will find a way to where we will have to go less and less to these other nations. You know, the scripture tells us, part of the curses that we would have to lend, the nations would lend to us, you know what I'm saying? And,
mm-hmm.
they would be lending to us.
Yeah,
We gotta reverse all this, knowing who we is, knowing what the direction that we're going into, coming back to these Edenic lands, we have to reverse these things and start collectively working together, to reverse these curses. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Now, how would having our own Edenic Hebrew Israelite education programs to where our children are growing up from 6 years old to 18 years old, going to these schools and also even going to these universities that we can establish, knowledgeable institutions as, a holy nation, globally, how would us having that educational frequency affect today's world, just by us controlling our own education, collectively, you know with each other.
yeah. Well, of course, we can, we can look at curriculum and say curriculum would change, which would actually benefit our children because now the curriculum is being handed down from a point of some people who actually
Mhm.
care for the children. So
Yeah.
those people are going to make sure that the best things get into the curriculum for the children to actually eat and grow, you know. So that's great. And then it'll lessen violence with our children. When you think about our public schools in these neighborhoods where we come from, I'm from Detroit. So when you go to these public schools, man, you see some of the worst behaviors from children.
Yeah.
I think that would change as well now because we have a community of people who are actually dealing with each other. You know, we know each other. I know you, you know me. Hey, and if we don't know each
Mhm.
other, we got to set up standards that we live and we building upon
Yeah.
to where we're not letting nobody off the hook for nothing.
Mm.
So when it comes to and plus the family structure will be a lot better.
Yeah.
The family structure will be a lot better. So you'll have children now coming to school and they'll be able to, you know, have a clear mind and really just learn and eat what they're being fed by, you know, those in a position to teach. We,
Definitely.
you know, I got a 6 year old. He just started school. I got an 18 year old. He just graduated.
Yeah. Yeah.
This year just passed.
Congratulations.
So, oh yeah, man. You know, yeah. That's one less bill I gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So when you say 6 to 18, that hit me a little different because now I'm thinking like, okay, dang, you know, because we're not in control of the curriculums being taught in the schools
Hmm.
where we are used to sending our children. We're
Hmm.
not in control of that. We're not in control of the people in place to teach in these places, right? We don't have to worry about our children being taught things that would hinder them mentally and
Hmm.
have them be in a place in which we got to come and be like, give them an intervention or
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, so I think that would benefit us greatly. And I also think, too, after 18 years old, when it's time for them to go to, you know, university or
Yeah.
college or whatever,
Yeah.
um, I think they will be much more advanced.
Hmm.
Right. Because now they being given the things that they're supposed to, and the expectations are higher.
Yeah.
The expectations are higher, and I don't think it will be as much pressure as it is because now we cutting down the peer pressure. We cutting down. It's a whole lot of things that'll be cut down
Yeah.
dealing with
Yeah.
when we are raising our own children.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
ain't
No,
nothing else I can say.
I feel you. I mean,
You know?
because right now, especially in Babylon in America, our children go to school, into their system. They in school 6, 7 hours out the day, and don't let them have extra curriculum, activities after school. They in school 8 to 9 hours a day, getting indoctrinated,
Mhm.
by the world.
Mhm.
So yeah, if we able to change that, and then after, like you said, after what we'll call high school, after that they go to these universities and they getting indoctrinated,
Yeah,
to be
even worse.
forced to work in their system, to be forced to be an
Mhm.
employee in their world, in the Gentile
Yeah.
world. So, we have to switch that. We have to switch that. We have to be able to offer our children, advanced studies after what we'll call high school. We have to be
Mhm.
able to, you know, create these things, develop these things, develop the curriculum, develop the different courses, then, build the schools, build these things, architecture with it, construct these things, so that's important, man. Like, so if we can't control our own education, that's another thing that's hindering us from,
Yeah.
controlling our own destiny. It's another thing
Yeah.
that's hindering us. Um, Let me ask you this. As Bible prophecy keeps unfolding, where do you see the children of Israel in the next 10 years?
I tell you what, I tell you what, man. I don't see him in Babylon.
For those that wanna leave, you don't see them in Babylon.
For
You,
those that want to leave, I don't see him
yeah,
there. But yeah, as Bible prophecy in the next 10 years, man. I actually think that we would actually be moving. Okay, like you said, for those that want to leave, because it's going to be some that just can't get over themselves. So it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
some that's left behind that won't be able to. They're going to pretty much expose themselves for what they really are.
Yeah.
Because you got to realize when it comes to this right here, this is different. When it comes to us coming together, right? It's different, and a lot of
Yeah.
people ain't gonna be able to get with it because they dealing with a spirit of pride, man. And that spirit will expose itself. It's gonna expose itself.
Mm.
You're gonna find out who these people are. So in the next in the next 10 years, it's 2025. By 2035, man, I see us moving and grooving in these communities. I actually see us doing it. I really do. I see us doing it, man. I know we can do it. Bro, I'm here with you. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You in the country next to me. I'm in this country, and we've been connecting, doing small. For me, for us, it's small because we see it's a bigger picture that we see. You
Mm-hmm.
know. So, but at the same time, I actually can see this thing working. I can see it working. I really can. I can see us having communities in Kenya. I can see it in Ghana. I can even see it in South Africa. I can see a lot of brothers, right, who are dealing with certain ideologies who don't want to join because of it. When they get to seeing things move with us, then they'll be like, you know what? Let me drop this right here because that's what it's supposed to be right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. I can actually see some brothers doing that, man. I can see us moving because the Most High didn't bring us and put us in areas for nothing.
Yeah.
We ain't in these places for nothing, man. And that's the thing. That's the thing, bro. We gotta unite. We gotta
Mm-hmm.
unite, man. We got a common enemy. Uh, and it don't matter. No nation on this earth, there's no nation on this earth who agrees with everything. Right? The Asians don't agree with each other on everything. You got
Yeah.
Christian Asians and you
Mm-hmm.
got Buddhist Asians. They don't agree with everything, but they're gonna choose their people,
Yeah.
right? And see, that's what we fall off at. We don't agree with everything, but we'll shun our people, throw them to the side, and leave them for the dogs. So that's the difference. But like I said, in the next 10 years, I can actually see us doing this, man. I can see us doing this. I can see
Yeah.
this really working. I can see us. I can see. I can see, bro. I can see us having trucks, right? And these trucks moving, crops and stuff, to
Mhm.
this country to the next,
Yeah.
and bringing back for that.
Yeah.
I can actually see that. I can see things like that. I can see that. It's not for me. It's not unattainable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just take brothers to be on the right brothers to be on the right page.
Yeah.
That's it.
Definitely.
That's all it takes.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I definitely see that too, man. The next 10 years, we operating as a united network, governmental, construct. We operating as that. We operating as our own coalition, you know, um,
Mm-hmm.
throughout Africa, and even throughout other places, throughout other places like Puerto Rico, Mexico, you know, the West Indies, places where where we have brothers and sisters at, um,
Global.
and Africa will be a shining light, with that,
Mm-hmm.
so I definitely see that, I see us working together, as a nation,
Yeah.
you know. Um, let me ask you
And
this. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it's I can see us doing that globally, man. Like you said, as prophecy unfolds, and the prophecy is definitely unfolding, bro. Bro, come on, man. We seeing so many things according to prophecy happen, in this time, in our day, in our life, right? We seeing these things, man, and we seeing our people. We seeing our people coming together. It's slowly but surely. And then I also check this out. No soon as we start talking about unifying the nation and unified front and all of this type stuff, right? Now you get these people all online talking about dang, what is it they talking about? Diaspora wars and all of this stuff going on, man.
Diaspora
You
war.
know, they trying to instill something in our people on either side so we can start going against each other to further spread us apart, bro. That's what's
Yeah.
going on right now. And I want everybody to know out there that's watching this, man, don't feed into that bull crap, man. That's some stuff straight from the enemy, man. The enemy put that stuff within our people that, you know, who will accept it, who will, you know, the emotional amongst us, who will sit back and be like, oh, yeah, they said that and they did this, and start bickering and beefing and going back and forth, man. That's not what the Most High sent us out here to do, bro. He sent us out here to gather ourselves, not to be beefing and going back and forth with each other, man. That's counterproductive to what we're trying to do. So don't even involve yourself in that, man. That's
That's crazy. Diaspora wars. Making us look like
yeah,
a
bro.
fool, making us looking like, hooligans, making us look like we moved to Africa just to beef with each other. Nah. That's
See,
crazy.
that's starting over there. That's over there in America, man. Then you got a brother. You got some brothers. You know, we used to be Black Americans. Now we foundational Black Americans, and so now they trying to box themselves in as just foundational Black Americans and kick everybody else out. And
Right.
I mean, hey, you do what you do. I understand, but hey, that's them that don't want to leave. But
That's
it is what it
crazy.
is.
That's crazy, man. Let me ask you this
Yeah.
question. Now, this is the last question. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1, and
Mhm.
Ezekiel chapter 37, the valley of the dry bones. So Zephaniah 2 and 1, gather ourselves together, O nation that desire. In Ezekiel chapter 37,
Mhm.
dealing with the valley of dry bones, us collectively coming together, and being this great, nation, this great army. Now, is this some mythology or religious type of thing, or is this some practical nation building, acting out prophecy in real life, real time? Like, is this some
Mhm.
mythology, religion type of thing, or this some, really practical nation building, type of thing? Like, elaborate to the people. What's your take on that?
Yeah. To some that don't, well, okay, let's do it like this. No, it's not mythology. It's not mythology. It's not religious. It's none of that. It's real life, bro. Our people are
Mhm.
divided. We're separated everywhere,
Mhm.
all over the earth, man. And you know, okay, so when you read the message, somebody will look at that as poetry or a religious text and stuff like that. For
Mhm.
me, it's not a religious text. For me, it's instructions.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's instructions. It's gather your people. Your people are not gathered. We not gathered, man. Isaiah 49 tell us, though Israel be not gathered, though
Mhm.
I will be glorious in the light and the eye of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
we gotta gather our people. That's the mission. Our
Mhm.
mission is to gather our people.
Mhm.
That's the what's that? Isaiah 49. Let me read this real quick.
Mhm.
Isaiah
Oh yeah,
49, if you don't
yeah.
mind. And see a lot of our brothers out there too, when like you was talking about earlier, you was talking about the brothers, the other nations that might help us and stuff like that. A lot of our brothers is rejecting them, not understanding, man. Hey, we don't, Anyway, let me read this. Isaiah 49. All right. And 5.
Mhm.
It's the Most High that formed me from the womb to be a servant to bring Jacob again to him. Though Israel be not gathered yet, shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord,
Mhm.
and my God shall be my strength. You see? So Israel ain't gathered. Our people ain't gathered right now and haven't been for a
Mhm.
long time. The mission is to gather our people. That's our mission. The
Yeah.
6th verse. And
Mhm.
he said, it is a light thing that thou should be my servant. to
Mm-hmm.
raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles,
Mm.
that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. That's the mission.
Mm-hmm.
The mission is to raise up the tribes, gather our people together, and be. And the only way we become a light to the Gentiles is when they see us operating together. The
Mm.
other nations, when they see us operating together, not only just the other nations, our people, when they see us operating together, then they're gonna be like, you know what? These people on to something.
Mm.
And not only are they on to something, they don't pull their finances out of our system and put them into their system, and their
Mm.
system is building and flourishing.
Mm. Mm.
They're gonna want to be a part of that. They're
Mm.
gonna want to be a part of that. They're gonna start to bring their strength, which is their money, and putting it into our system.
Exactly.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna begin to right fuel. But yeah, that's what it is. So to me, Ezekiel 37 and Zephaniah 2, that is not religious. That's the mission. This is our mission. Our people ain't gathered, man. You can look at South America, you can see the same phenotype, the same looking people that you will see on the continent of Africa.
Mm.
You can go all over the world and you will see the same people with the same phenotype, same looks, all of this. They speak in different languages. They don't know that they the same people, right? They got diaspora wars going on, so our people are, we under attack. We under attack. And it's coming from, bro, it's coming from, high places, bro. And we got to
Yeah.
really understand that this is what it is, that we under attack. We don't realize things when we start seeing things get put algorithm on a TikTok or on a YouTube or this, that, and that, right? When we start seeing these things get pushed through the algorithm, they're not being pushed through the algorithm for nothing, right? This is military mind games they playing with us, man. And they trying to keep us, you know, and they trying to keep us separated, man, through,
Yeah.
through things like that. So, nah, man, that's not religious and it's not mythology, bro. That is real life.
Mm.
And even on a regular barbershop conversation, you'll be talking to brothers and you'll be in the barbershop having and they'll tell you like, brothers can't come together. That's our problem. We can't never come together. So no, man, that's regular conversation. That ain't no mythology,
Yeah.
right? The mission is to gather our people together. That's
Mm.
the mission. That's the mission that God gave us, those of us in the know,
Yeah.
right? That's our mission. And
Yeah.
we got different offices, we got different talents and gifts to go about doing that. But the Most High gave us that mission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, right on, man. We got to use that mission as a, and be a collective mind. We can do that. We can definitely do that, man. Wise words being spoken from Brother Banayah. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, bro. And I appreciate you, man. Appreciate your
Yes, sir.
time. We're gonna keep building this construct, no matter how difficult it may be, it may get, no matter what comes in our way, we're gonna do it because we know the Most High is with us, with this, because we're gonna. It's a slight
Mhm.
thing. It's a light thing to raise up the tribe.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So
Mhm.
definitely, man. Definitely appreciate you, bro. And
Amen. All praise to the Father, bro. Thank you for
definitely,
having me.
oh man, it's a blessing, man. All right, shalom. Shalom.
Mhm.